Hi, I'm Kerry and this is my garden in Johannesburg, South Africa. In this video, I'm going to do a quick garden tour showing you some of the plants I've grown this year, some of the plants that have been growing for a while, and some of my successes and some of my lessons. I hope you'll join me, and I look forward to hearing from you in the comments below. So this is my first bed that I have over here. Um, Over here is a row of zinnias, and then we have a row of sunset marigolds, I think they're called, and then we have gazanias. You can see going from the back there, whoops, from there. These ones don't seem to be flowering. I don't know what's happening. And then my calendula. This I am so oh, and there's also sweet alyssum dotted everywhere, and in between there's coriander, which I love. What is coriander called in other countries? Cilantro. So this I've only ever managed to grow calendula about this size. So for perspective, like this is my hand, it can fit over the bush. So the fact that this has grown huge, I'm so excited and so happy about it. I'm actually, if the sun comes out today and they open wide, the blossoms seem to open properly when there's good sun. So if the sun comes out nice today, then I will and they open up quite nicely, I will then just take them and snip them off and start drying them, because I use that to make a calendula salve. Then here is parsley that's gone to seed or starting to flower, so it's going to make some seeds. Yeah, I think probably what I'm going to do with the parsley seeds is save them, because what I found in my experience with gardening, for some reason when you grow a plant in your garden and you keep the seed like that it produces, or you use the seed that it produces, sorry for my hands in the video, what happens is it does so well. I'll show you zinnias that I previously grew in another garden in the sort of same area. Yeah, I'll show you those. And then here is some butternut. There's three plants. There's one over there, and that's also some coriander. These butternuts I am so incredibly excited for. I did see a flower on that one yesterday, and I think it's the male. Sometimes I don't know what it is. Sometimes you just get a whole bunch of male flowers and you never get female flowers. Yeah, I'm not sure what the challenge is with that. If you know, you can let me know in the comments below. And then over here I am growing some, I think these are a type of, they're a long like oblong type shape tomatoes. So you can see there. And this butternut I'm very excited for, because it's like a ribbed variety. I really am praying for this butternut to be successful. Sorry, I talk with my hands and it's coming into the camera. Then over here we've got tomatoes that are, it's a salad tomato. I don't actually know what the variety is called, but they're coming in fast and furiously, and the birds have been horrific. Like every time one goes red, they just like, okay, we're here, free food. But my brother feeds the birds every day, so they don't need any additional food. I mean, okay, I should share. Maybe I should share, but I love tomatoes. It's a hard one. It's a hard one. Then over here, I have some lemon thyme, and I see it making flowers. This would be so lovely in a salad. I must actually... Oh, I wish you could smell this. And then, yeah, there's another tomato over here. There seems to be some sort of a disease that's getting hold of this plant. Well, actually all of the tomatoes, and I don't know what it is. If anybody watching this knows, I would appreciate to know if I need to like rip out the plants and say goodbye to them. Then over here we have an artichoke. I've never in my life grown an artichoke. This is not from seed. I actually got it at the nursery, so I'm pretty excited for this. The only reason I got it is because my mom kept on saying, grow artichoke, grow artichoke. Now I know you eat the flowers, but if you look how big this plant is, how many plants would you need to grow to feed a family? I don't know, but I'll see. Like maybe I've never also, I don't recall eating artichoke, so perhaps it's something new for me and I really enjoy it. Then this is new to me also. I've never grown rhubarb, also got it from a nursery. I actually got seeds recently, which I'm so super stoked about, because in like my childhood, one of my core childhood memories is where my gran used to make rhubarb and apple crumble. My goodness, it was the best. Then over here, okay, this is my makeshift sort of shade net thing, but as you can see, the wind blows it up, so the the plants do get some sun. It's an 80% shade net. Yeah, it's not very aesthetically pleasing, but it does the job. So yeah, it offers some shade, and I just more wanted to experiment with growing things under here to see what happens. Yeah, so over here we've got some, I think both of this plant, yeah, this baby is growing green peppers, and that one is also growing green peppers. And then this is a lima bean. I must have a look at it. I know nothing about lima beans. Like, look how abundant it is, how much, you know, bean pods there are on the plant. I know nothing. Like, do I need to harvest them? Look, even here, there's so many pods on here, and it's even growing up over the wall. I think it's probably gonna give fruit to people in the street, which I guess is fine if they know what to do with it. But yeah, I don't know. I need to do some research on what to do, when to harvest them, how you eat them. I've got to learn on that. Then over here, that's a rosemary. I absolutely love rosemary with grated orange sweet potatoes. Like I make like a stir fry, but just with like a spray of oil, and I cook rosemary with sweet potatoes. It is the best. Okay, then over here we have, these are pepper dews. So there is no fruit on these plants yet. They weren't doing so well initially. Their growth seemed pretty stunted. And then what I did, because I learned about companion planting, although this doesn't look very healthy and lively and happy, I put in some garlic chives, because apparently those are companion plants. So that seemed to help. But if you look, there's still something munching on the leaves. You can see there. And then, yeah, This is super cool, this tomato plant and this tomato plant. So the bigger tomato plants that I showed you earlier, I actually pruned them, and when I pruned them, I got I pruned the suckers out of them. So then I basically just stuck these in the ground, stripped a bunch of leaves off, stuck these in the ground, and now hopefully we'll get some more fruit. Then this is my nasturtium. Funny story about all the nasturtium I'm going to show you that you're going to see. Most of it actually. There's only some on the other side of the garden. Last year I planted seeds for nasturtium and they never grew. They just didn't come up, and I was like, oh. You know, when you plant something and you're like, I don't really know where I planted them. So anyhow, I just left it. And then when the soil was turned over at the beginning of spring, now I have this abundance of giant nasturtiums everywhere. And I'm totally happy with that. I'm here for it. Like, I absolutely love that. Then over here we have paprika. There we go. And also we planted some chives here, and there's paprika too. And this is a tomato plant, and this plant over here and that plant over there, I actually see a very red tomato I need to take before the birds get it. I didn't prune it. You can see this one over here and the two I showed you earlier. I did prune it, and it seemed to produce bigger fruit. So it was just also an experiment for me, and then also growing in the sort of shade versus growing in the full sun, just an experiment for myself to learn. And then over here we have some Thai basil. Now this, the bees love, so I love growing it for, I think it's Thai basil, or it's called holy basil. Now this is fantastic as a tea. I've had, look at the bees, they're really enjoying it. Just every day I come out here and so what I do with the leaves, I've actually got a cup on my stoop. What I do with the leaves is I harvest them, and I put them in a cup and kind of leave them for half a day or a day, and then the next day I will add boiling water to it, and it makes the most amazing tea, and it has beautiful health benefits. So I might actually do a video just on, you know, how I make the tea, the bees. How amazing is that? I'm not sure if I can zoom in because I'm new to YouTube and video making. Just stay still. No, I can't zoom in. So if I happen to get a close-up of a bee, it's just by chance. Then yeah, this plant looks pretty diseased, and I don't know if it's because of how I tied it or whatever. It's a tomato. You can see, so there's the fruit, but you can see there's disease on the leaves, and I have no idea what it is. And then there's a tomato that the birds help themselves to. I don't know if I should share. I don't want to. And then here's my beautiful nasturtium. So nasturtium is fantastic. Actually, you can use the leaves and the flowers in salads. So it's got like a peppery taste. And then when the flower goes to seed, you can actually also use the flower as a sort of caper. I love that there's so many flowers on it, and the color that it's like this neon orange. It's so beautiful and so bright. The camera doesn't really pick it up. Maybe there it's a better, no, there, no. Anyhow, that's that. And then I got another paprika over here, growing over there. And then these are my dahlias that I grew from seed. I'll be honest, it was one of those plants that I grew and I didn't really know what it was until it flowered. It was like, sometimes I'll be honest, I plant flowers, seeds, let's rather say seeds, and then I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna weed here because I don't know what I planted where, and this looks like it could be a plant. So yeah. Then over here we have some potatoes. They're still new, and there's a tomato there. I don't know what it is and how it got there, whether it was something I planted, maybe one of the pruning things. Oh, there's another one too. I can't believe it. I've got a lot of tomato, but I don't think tomato and potato are friends, so things might not work out. But again, it's all about learning. And then here's another dahlia, and this is spinach. Something's eating it. I wish I knew what it was. This is called Old Man Salt Bush. I actually bought it when I was in Clarence last year, and it doesn't taste as nice as it did when I was in Clarence. And I have this feeling it's because it draws the minerals out of, like, how it gets its salty flavor. So it would be nice to use in a salad or something like that to add salt. But I think how it gets its salt is from the minerals of the soil. But because we've had so much rain, it's very it's meh. It's not as salty and beautiful. Then another, this is a chive that we just moved here. And then in between there's agapanthus. There's a, oh, I was going to scream. A leaf just came from this tree onto me. Imagine screaming on the video. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then this is, yeah, you can see there's like tons of dahlia here. I'm amazed. How beautiful is that? Like perfection. And then this is a sweet potato that's growing under here. I really hope dahlia and sweet potato are friends, because I don't want to sacrifice either one of them. This sweet potato I have planted kind of everywhere. It's actually the most magenta color sweet potato you've seen in your entire life. And if you roast it, like, I would just add some cocoa to it and eat it, and it will be like a chocolate pudding. It is the most divine sweet potato, and I've had it growing in my garden for probably about 3 years now. Last year was the first harvest, because I thought I planted a slip that I'd bought from somebody, and last year was the first harvest. I actually thought it had died because there was literally no leaves on the surface, and then yeah, it regrew. So, and this is some sort of a brassica. I'm not even sure if it's a broccoli. It looks like it could be a broccoli if you look at that, but it's also getting mutilated by, I don't know if it's Christmas beetles or what. Then let's go over here to the beetroot bed. Yeah, these beetroots are just sowed one row, and then my gardener separated them out, and now we have a whole bunch of beetroot going. You know, if they grow together in like a cluster, then they're not going to grow, because like if you plant seeds all on top of each other, they need space to grow. Specifically like roots, they need more space to grow. That's why the butternuts, I separated them out. This butternut over here was planted in the place it was going to be. There are some sunflowers in here. Now I realize that sunflowers actually steal from other plants, so I'm hoping by the time the sunflowers are ready to start stealing nutrients from the other plants, that the beetroots and things will be harvested and out of the ground by then. Then here's some 2 potatoes. These happen to grow from last year, obviously remnants. Then here, look at that. I love these flowers. And the bees are also enjoying them. That's interesting. Yeah, I thought they preferred purple flowers, but anyhow, that's, be that as it may, they can have purple flowers. Or oh yes, and I forgot to show you the foxglove. That's the first time it's ever flowered. It was a plant, and if I'll go there and show you now. I'm getting distracted here. This is it's called a nastergal in Afrikaans. I don't know what the English name is. Maybe it's nightshade. It produces these tiny black berries, and I know that people produce there's some berries. Look there. There's the black berries. They are tiny. And I know that some people, I think it's Afrikaans people that produce nastergal jam. Now if you look at how tiny those berries are, like I reckon they're the size of a peppercorn. How much of this do you have to harvest to be able to make jam? Anyhow, that amazes me. So this is the butternut that I moved from between the other two. One of them, they actually get, plants when you move them, they just get so wimpy. They like cry for a bit, and then when they settle, they're like, yay, we love this place, we can grow. I don't know, it's just the way they are. Okay, let's go have a look. Oh, let me show you. Oh, okay, first let's do the foxglove. So basically it was just this that I had growing in my garden, and I wasn't sure if it was a weed or a herb or a something. And then this year this baby appeared. Look how beautiful that is. I just knocked the thing off, and it actually smells so nice. Yeah, and so do nasturtiums smell absolutely beautiful. Then we're going, this is the watermelon section. I have never grown watermelon in my life before, so I have no experience, but I can see there's lots of boy flowers on here. I can only explain it as boy flowers. You see, come out the way, and you see there the male flowers. I think they do the same as pumpkins, male and female flowers. And then over here is dahlias, again the yellow ones. I don't know if I planted any other colors, I really have no clue. And then here is, there's more, you'll see all along here there is watermelon, and at the back against the wall you can see the sweet potato. So it's watermelon, sweet potato, and in between there's chives, garlic chives. And look, woo, we have a watermelon. It's so tiny, but it was like, I want to say it was like half the size on Friday. Today's Monday, so it's really growing well. I really hope it grows huge and is fantastic. I see this vine is growing up into the rose bush, so I don't know how that's going to work out for it. This is an iceberg rose that my mom planted many years ago. And then here are the zinnias. They are massive, these plants. Like, I don't know, compared to the first time I grew them, these plants are massive. So I think we're going to have some beautiful zinnia blooms to enjoy. Oh, and there I see another baby tomato. Like, I wonder, how do these things get... Oh, there's another one. How do these things get here? It's either birds or it's... I think it's just leftovers from the year before. Yeah, see, these are all zinnias. They haven't started flowering yet. And then over here I have some more dahlias, but they're baby dahlias. And this is called, I can't think of what it's called. Oh, dianthus. These flowers are dianthus. I like putting in flowers now for the bees, for the pollinators. And this, I think I need to like give it a bit of a trim. And then, excuse my garden feet if you saw that. Yeah, and then there's another flower there. I don't know what it's called. And these produce like long, big stemmed white flowers, but they're not like an agapanthus. They are, oh, I'll show you there. Don't know if you can see it. That one over there. I'll give you a close-up shortly. Yeah, and then here is my pumpkins. These nasturtiums I know I planted this year, so I'm happy that they're still going. I have powdery mildew on my pumpkin, which is freaking me out because they still need to grow quite a bit. And there's also some dead pumpkins, like I don't know if they've been stung. Can you see that pumpkin? How amazing is that? This is the biggest one there is. And then there's a baby one. Oh, and then I've got beans over here. Look. The beans, I need to do some harvesting. Because beans, apparently, the more you harvest, the more they grow. That's the pumpkin. The baby one. And then, yeah, some more zinnias. There's sunflowers that have just come out here. I need to move those sweet potatoes because sweet potatoes and sunflowers definitely aren't friends. So I need to move them. Then if you look at the ground, there is soil underneath here. But what I do to preserve the moisture and whatever is every time my gardener comes and mows the lawn, I actually put I ask him to put to cover the bare soil. He should even be doing it on the beds, but he doesn't. He turns it over, but it doesn't matter. So this is the flower that grows out of this bulb, but it doesn't really have a scent, and I don't know if I like them and if I want to put them like arrange them in a more aesthetically pleasing way or just leave them as they are. Look at these iceberg roses, how pretty. Then we got this is bulbinella, which is a great skin herb. There's some more growing there. It's great for eczema and scalp issues. This is yesterday, today and tomorrow. I'm so grateful to see the purple flowers coming back on the plants because initially when the rain started, I don't know, there's obviously a chemical thing with this plant, kind of like I'm trying to think what the word is, like with hydrangeas, like depending on what nutrients they get, because initially when the rain started, the whole bush just went white. Like there were initially purple flowers on, and then the rain started and there was so much rain that just the entire plant went white. And yeah, I love the smell. Reminds me of my grandmother. And then over here we have some more sweet potatoes that have been growing for a while. So these are part of the family of the one I showed you in a bed earlier. It's like quite a lot bigger. And then over here I have some lavender, and this is a bottle brush tree. And we have some tires and a cooking pot. See, my garden's not aesthetically pleasing. What I'm very happy to have in my garden is a tea tree, which is just, oh, it smells so lovely. I wish I had a eucalyptus, but I'm kind of grateful for all the sun in my garden that I get. Tea tree just smells so lovely. And then, oh look, there's a baby sweet potato growing out here. Look at that, how cute. Look there, and then there. Oh, hello baby. And I don't know what this is. Are you a seed or are you a weed? I don't know. But welcome to the world. Then over here is another nasturtium. This one is, I think, probably the biggest plant I've got in the garden. Yeah, you can see the berries. They're going black. So people make jam out of this, and I wish the birds would come and come feast on this instead of my tomatoes. How nice would that be? And you see the berries. And then, I'm just looking how beautiful this rose is. I want to grow more beautiful smelling flowers, and it's probably roses. So yes, this is just one section of my garden. I do have quite a big garden. This is at the bottom end of my garden. So what I will do perhaps in my next video is I will take you around. Oh, and this is a carob tree, which I learned after eating some of the pods. Okay, you can see the pods up top there. So it's like a natural sweetener. I actually gave it to my kids when they were young, because they used to get the sniffles whenever they had sweet stuff. I don't know what it was. I'm not sure if I'm showing you the carob pods. So you eat the flesh of the pod and not the seed. I learned that after trying to eat the pod. I mean the seed. It was hard, very hard, like you can't eat it with your teeth. Don't even try. And then I see up there, I've got a birdie's nest. I wonder what kind of a birdie it is. I hope it's a nice one. Not a sky rat. That's what I call pigeons. Is that ugly? Anyhow, this has been fun. Thank you. If you've watched until the end, I really appreciate you. And I hope you'll come back for my next video. Bye bye.